Hey YouTube, welcome to my new dividend investing channel called Dividend Investing. This is where I will be going over my portfolio and my journey to building passive income wealth. Before I get into the reason that you clicked this video in the first place, please take a second to hit the like and subscribe button below. I don't get paid for the number of likes or subs I get. I'm just interested in helping all investors see the different strategies and stocks to consider when investing in the market. For these videos to reach the investors who have a similar mindset, it takes a community to like and subscribe to this channel so the YouTube algorithm broadcasts these videos to its intended audience. It's also worth mentioning that I am not a financial advisor, and everything that I say in these videos are my opinions and strategies in investing. Please do your own research and consult with a professional before making any financial decisions. One of the reasons that I started this channel in the first place was to show the average investor that building wealth through passive income could be done by anyone. You just have to have a well-structured investing strategy and stick to it no matter what. A lot of YouTube channels that I've seen over the years haven't been relatable when it comes to the investors who are watching those videos. The majority of investors who are just starting out don't have the kind of cash that these YouTube investors are using to build their portfolios. Some of these guys are using $1, $2, or even $10,000 per month. On one hand, it does make me happy that those YouTube investors are in a position to invest that kind of cash into their portfolio, but on the other hand, that's not the case for the majority of the investors who are watching those videos. At least it's not the case for me. So starting with this video, I plan to show you my entire dividend portfolio as of January 2021 and upload weekly videos on its progress and what my opinions are on certain topics. I want to be transparent with how much I invest each month and show everybody how you can build a strong dividend portfolio without having to invest large sums of money into it every month. For this video, I'm going to display screenshots of my portfolio and walk through how I keep track of my dividends through an Excel sheet I've created. I use Fidelity as my brokerage, but I also like keeping an organized spreadsheet of my portfolio so I can make charts for these videos in the future. So here's an overview of my portfolio as of the middle of January. You can see I'm currently invested in 24 different stocks or ETFs. There's two reasons for that. One, it reduces my risk if one of those holdings underperforms or if that particular company finds itself in any serious issues. The second reason is that I'm more spread out when it comes to my income stream and those companies that are paying their dividends. Instead of getting paid every 3 months by the same 2 or 3 companies, I'm getting paid every month by multiple companies depending on their payout schedules. Moving from left to right on my dashboard, you can see the specific stocks or companies that I'm invested in. I plan on reviewing each stock in the next few videos I post so I can go over why I'm invested in them and how they've performed for me since I initially bought them just a few months ago. I'm sure most of you have heard, used, or even owned some of these companies such as Apple, Bank of America, Walt Disney, Coca-Cola, Pepsi, and AT&T. Some of the lesser known companies I have in my portfolio are Bank of Nova Scotia, Duke Energy, Constellation Brands, and VU, which is a Vanguard ETF. They invest in stocks in the S&P 500, which represents about 500 of the largest US companies. Like I mentioned, I'll be doing a review of all of my holdings, so I'll cover VU more in depth on a later video, but these are the stocks that I'm currently invested in. Next, we have the sectors each of my stocks falls in. There are 11 primary stock sectors that are made up of the names that you see on the right-hand side of your screen. I'm invested in all but one of those sectors, that being the materials sector. I haven't seen any companies that catch my eye from there, but maybe one will come up one day. Leave a comment if you're invested in any stocks that fall underneath the materials sector. Here you can visually see what percentage of my portfolio falls into each of the sectors. Just from looking at the pie chart, it looks like I'm making an effort to be diverse. That's not my intent when it comes to being diverse. I want to be more diverse with the stocks that I own, not necessarily the sectors that they're in. However, it's nice to see this chart from time to time. Let's move on to the part that really matters. In the portfolio value column, you can see the total amount each of my positions are worth in my portfolio. I'll just point out that my 5 largest holdings are currently Coca-Cola, 3M, Microsoft, Realty Income, and AT&T. Those 5 stocks alone make up 54% of the overall portfolio. I'm okay with that for right now, but moving forward, I actually plan to add more positions to my Vanguard ETF, VU, because it's a safer stock overall. It pays an okay dividend, and as long as the market's doing well, that ETF will follow suit. If the market dips again, like it did last year, I'll probably add more positions to the stocks in my portfolio that are hit the hardest or the ones that I think are trading below their current value. But overall, my portfolio currently values at just under $4,600. Here's a breakdown of the individual stocks and what percentage each of them makes up in the portfolio. Again, AT&T, Microsoft, and Coke make up the majority of the portfolio today, but that'll change over time. And looking at how much passive income I receive on an annual basis in the next column, it's currently sitting at $172 a year. Some of you watching may be laughing at that number, but that's why I'm sharing this information with you today. You have to start somewhere when you decide to invest, no matter how much you start with. Something worth mentioning is that I'm only going to be contributing $30 a month to this portfolio. Like many young investors, I don't have serious amounts of money to throw around. I graduated college with 6 figures of debt, I have an okay paying job, and I'm married to my wife who's also going through continued education at the moment. With paying back loans and having to pay for the everyday expense, I can't afford to throw all my money into my dividend portfolio, even though I'd like to. Again, I wanted this channel to represent that everybody can build a significant passive income stream from scratch without having to break the bank. Investing is a marathon, not a sprint. So every month I receive dividends, that money will get reinvested back into the portfolio and in turn make me more money the next time I receive dividends. So that $172 a year will grow every month, which is pretty exciting and encouraging for me. The next column shows the percentage each company makes up in the portfolio. I highlighted 5 cells yellow. Those are the 5 largest companies that I mentioned earlier. I want to bring the other positions up, specifically VU, like I mentioned. So all my other holdings, except for those 5 companies highlighted, will have dividends reinvested back into their position. When I receive dividends from the other 5 larger stocks, I'll actually reinvest those back into VU until I feel comfortable with the portfolio's allocation. The last column you see is the specific dividend yield for each of the companies. I highlighted the yields that were above a 4.5% dividend yield. The only stock that I own that's not currently paying a dividend is Disney. I think they're a great company and will start paying dividends soon. But for right now, I'll keep investing my money into them until they actually pay that dividend again. And I'll actually have a decent amount of money saved up for when they actually do pay their dividend. Overall, my portfolio percentage dividend yield is about a 3.74%. That's not bad. I like to see that higher, but right now that's my dividend yield. These last few columns are just some miscellaneous facts and information about the stock, like their dividend CAGR, how much their dividend per share is at, and how much they pay annually. I also have when I'll be expecting my dividend to be paid out. The payouts I will receive this month are in green, and the cells that are highlighted in yellow are the next month's dividend payout dates. The last column is just how risky the stock is, or their beta. The red cells just mean that they're my riskier stocks, but overall, those are just miscellaneous pieces of information for me and what I see when I look at my dashboard. Before I end the video, I just want to go over what my portfolio goals are. Like I mentioned, investing is a marathon and not a sprint, but it's good to have both short and long-term goals so you have something to look forward to. Here's a slide I put together of my goals for my dividend portfolio. You'll see I have short and long-term goals for my 4 metrics I really want to focus on. Going down the list, we have annual passive income, the dividend yield of my overall portfolio, my monthly contribution amount, and finally the value of the overall portfolio. Starting with the annual passive income, I'm currently sitting at $172 a year. My short-term goals are just milestone marks to keep me motivated while I progress over the long term. So those will change over time as I slowly achieve them. My long-term goal is to reach $80,000 in passive income. Even saying that sentence makes me laugh because that's more than what I make at my 9-to-5 job currently. But with investing in the right stocks, always investing on a monthly basis and reinvesting those dividends, I know it can happen. It's just a question of when, not if. The next goal is focused on increasing my portfolio's dividend yield. I'm currently sitting at 3.75%, but I'd like to see that a little higher, especially earlier, so I can build up my passive income while I'm younger. Next is my contribution amount. It's currently sitting at $30 a month. Once I pay off my student loans, that amount will increase and I should start to see more dividend income coming through that. But for now, those are my goals. Lastly, I have a goal for my overall portfolio value to be $2 million. Again, it's crazy to think that I could even get to that amount, but it's very possible. If I want to achieve my goal of making $80,000 annually and having a 4% dividend yield, my portfolio value will need to be around that $2 million figure. Those are my goals and my first official overview of my dividend stock portfolio. Moving forward, I want to give shout outs to everybody who comments on the videos and subscribes to the channel as an act of appreciation for everybody who supports the content that I share. I want to grow this channel so others can see how to start from nothing and reach milestones that they never thought were possible. As Warren Buffett said, someone's sitting in the shade today because someone planted a tree a long time ago. Please leave a like below and give me a follow on my Twitter for more updates on future videos and content. Hit the subscribe button and leave a comment below if you like the video. Thanks again for watching and have a good one, guys.